It's D-Day and we are here live in Rivers State. It's a state, no doubt, that every single person has been talking about, especially in recent months. And the reason? Well, it's best known to what took place on March 18, 2025, where the President of Nigeria declared a state of emergency. Now, this was indeed, came with mixed reactions, where a certain quarter, or you'd say persons, accepted it, while others did not accept it in whichever way. And that's why at News Central, we have decided to take it to a town hall gathering, and we're here live at the Grace Place. For 2 hours, we'll be speaking with the indigents of the state, most importantly, also vis-a-vis with government representatives, and not forgetting to the traditional rulers, the civil society organizations, and every single person who has a lot to share. I can tell you that the hall is starting to get filled up. At the front row, we do have the respected dignitaries and guests who are seated. In the course of the entire 2 hours program, when they get on stage here to speak, they would also have the opportunity to introduce themselves, and not just that, they will be speaking to the situation on ground. This entire conversation will last for about 2 hours or thereabout, and we would be looking at 3 segments. The first, it's going to be that we will try as much as possible to understand the situation on ground, which is understanding the problem. Now, if you recall, March 18, 2025, when the president made mention of the state of emergency in the nationwide broadcast, he also went ahead to make mention of the suspension of the Rivers State Governor, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, and his deputy governor, Ngozi Odum. And this has led to, like we say, a mixed reaction. But what does this mean for the people of Rivers State? And how long is 6 months? Is it really too long? And what has the sole administrator done so far so good to speak to the people of Rivers, and most importantly, to also share with them why this is very, very important? So today we'll be dissecting this situation, and I'm happy to say that we have the key stakeholders inside of the hall today, and we're expecting many of them who are equally coming. It rained earlier on here in Rivers State, so that could be one of the reasons why some are still on their way, but I can categorically tell you that the hall is almost filled up. Without further ado, I would be running through what the program would look like. If you just tuned in, welcome. This is News Central, and my name is Joe Hanson. Today we'll look at understanding the problem, understanding the issues on ground, the issues that, like we mentioned, started on March 18. But prior to that, experts, political bigwigs, and others would say it did not start on March 18. It started months back when there seemed to be a fracas between the FCT minister, Minister Nyesom Wike, and not forgetting to the duly elected governor of Rivers State, Governor Siminalayi Fubara. But after that, many would think or thought that the situation would have come to a stop. But it seemed like it caused a lot of division, even down to ethnicity, and you can name it, whichever one. So today, we'll look at all the divides possible. Like I said, part 1 would be understanding the situation. Part 2, we would also take time to look at how the crisis has affected the people of Rivers State. And then part 3 of this entire town hall session would also look at the situation from the neutral perspective. We would like to look at it from a neutral eye. What does this mean? Did the situation take a different turn, and is it beneficial to the people of Rivers State? And then finally, we look forward to wrap up with a pathway to resolution. It is our creed at News Central, being Nigeria's first, to always put the people in front, to always feel their pulse, and have this gathering to hear from the horse's mouth directly. We all agree that it's one thing to report the story on TV. It's another thing to have stakeholders speak. But I think the beauty of it is to gather the people together and let each and everybody speak from heart to heart, and not just through electronic means. And that's why we're gathered here today. Our hope is that once we're done, whatever we've agreed and put to paper will definitely get, possibly, most possibly, to the presidency, and also reach the sole administrator, whom we are equally expecting to join us here. A special invitation was sent to him, and we do hope that the sole administrator's representatives will definitely join us here live as we have these deliberations and these conversations. So please, distinguished guests, we're live, and I would like each and every one of us to please put our hands together for being here this very day. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Thank you. We also have political parties representatives who are here as well. They would be airing their views. The beauty of it is that we have political party members from the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress, the People's Democratic Party, the PDP. We also have people from the Labour Party representatives, and every other political party you can imagine or think of. So let's quickly also make the following announcements that please, we expect that every distinguished guest that comes on the stage to address the situations on ground will focus solely on the aspects that we're discussing on. That's one. Two, please, each speaker would have 3 minutes. 3 minutes. It means that we have to be very precise with what we are discussing so that we can make room for others. For our friends who just joined in, we had said that we need to also ensure that we stick to time so that everybody would have a say in this matter. Like my uncle always say, I mean, he's from a warrior, he will say, carry me, and I make rice full pot. So we have to carry ourselves together and ensure that we're able to reach a deliberation. So 3 minutes tops is what we're going to look to give to each and every person who will be speaking on this stage today. Aside the 3 minutes, we'd also like to announce, because this is a live broadcast, for those who just came in, please don't forget to put your phone on silent mode. Please, let's do that if you haven't done so. Please kindly help us do so, or you can put it on a vibrate mode so it just vibrates. If you have to take a call or you have to respond to a message, please help with that so that we do not have any form of interference with the gadgets or the technical aspect of this live broadcast. For those who are tuning in and those who are here and would love to watch us, you could stream live on YouTube. We're streaming this live on YouTube. You can also watch live on Facebook or Meta. You can also watch live on X, formerly known as Twitter. You can also watch us on DSTV, channel 422, Star Times, channel 274. And you can also watch us live on Go TV, which we recently launched just 2 months ago on channel 23. So 23 on Go TV, 422 on DSTV, and 274 on Star Times. I'm sure we're ready, but I need to understand that we're ready. So I need to hear from the people's mouth. I've been talking since. So are we ready? Yes, we are ready. And by the way, I had a bolly yesterday. It was fantastic. I must say this to my colleagues who are watching me. I know they really wanted to be here too, but it was very nice. But that sets the tone for us to begin, and time for us to get into the nitty-gritty, the reasons why we're here, the serious part of the conversation, and I can tell you that we are ready to go. The first segment of this town hall that we look forward to have, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and to all who are watching us across different time zones, be it in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, Nigerians in the diaspora, we want to look at understanding the problem. What really led to the suspension of a duly elected governor of Rivers State? Could that situation been averted? Could it have been better handled? For some, there's still a confusion as to why, what could have happened. Was it a fight alone between one person and the other? Or was it a fight between a political party and another one? But then again, where are the people of Rivers State in this matter? There are statements made that the people were consulted. And there are statements made that there were seemingly disaster that needed to be averted. So decisions had to be taken by the president. Some have welcomed that decision. Others have criticized it heavily. But let us put pen to paper, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and let us speak from the heart. And please, may we also announce that while we speak, we want to ensure that our speech is not targeted at another person so as to incite anger and violence. But when brothers come together and speak, the aim is to find a lasting solution while bearing their mind and their anger, but at the end of the day, ensuring that they reach a certain level which would yield positivity. Without further ado, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to announce that in expectant, we were looking forward to equally have the former governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Rufus Adat George, join us here today. The team is also working hard to ensure that he gets here on time and joins us pretty soon. While that is being worked on, the first segment, we want to address the government officials. So the government officials will be coming here on stage to address the first part, understanding the problem. Understanding the problem in Rivers State. I also like to mention that former Commissioner for Youth Development, Honorable Chisom Bali, is supposed to be here as well to join us to start off right here on stage. We also looking forward to have former Commissioner for Education and former lawmaker, Terminus Sisi Gogo Jaja as well to be here to join us as well. These are the names we're reeling out, and we are in constant communication with them. Hopefully, they get here on time before this segment wraps up. But even if it does, I'm sure we're able to make room for their comments speedily. Ambassador Desmond Akawo, former Federal Commissioner, Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission. We also look forward to have him grace the stage here today and speak with each and every one of us. But without further ado, since we are looking at government officials, and of course this touches on politicians and political parties, I'd like to ensure that we do have the following names who are here with us. Former Chairman Andoni LGA, Mr. Erastus Awotu. Has he arrived yet? Okay, not yet, still almost here. Former Chairman, Ekure Local Government Area, Rivers State, Mr. Samuel Wanusike. Let's find out, has he arrived yet? Okay, not yet, still on the way. Hopefully he gets here on time. Honorable Tamuno Williams, former Chairman, Okrika Local Government Area, Rivers State. Let's see if it, okay, all right. Please, you can stand up for recognition, please, sir. Please. Please, let's put our hands together. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Let me also mention that we are expecting former Chairman Obiakwa LGA. Okay, all right, Mr. Chijioke as well. So he should be here pretty soon. All right, so we're going to start off first by welcoming Honorable Tamuno Williams. I'm sure we're going to start with you first. Former Chairman, Okrika Local Government Area, Rivers State. The focus is understanding the problem. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together as we make welcome the Honorable who joins us here on stage. Thank you so much.
Good day. It's my pleasure to be on this wonderful town hall. My profound respect and greetings to everybody. My time is 3 minutes, and I will just go straight to the point. For you to understand the problem we're about to address, you need to be philosophical to ask yourself, in the first instance, how did government evolve? From the state of nature, in political philosophy, in jurisprudence, you know that at the beginning, people acted the way they wanted, how they wanted. But because it was difficult to function in disunity, people came together and said, let us form a government, and gave a clear purpose for what government will achieve. Rivers State was created in 1967. Rufus Adat George, Chief Medford Okilo, was the first governor, civilian governor of Rivers State in 1980. And then thereafter, we had governors. The problem as a political scientist, a lawyer, is that there has evolved a situation where the state has become personalized. This is conceptual, it's practical, empirical. Now, governance is brought into being based on a legal framework. Nigeria will have the 1999 Constitution as amended. We had the 1979 Constitution. What the 1960 Constitution, what the 1960 Constitution. The Constitution determines the parameters of engagement of all parties within the state. In our state, and in Nigeria, not just now, governance has become personalized. And when the personalities, the expectations are no longer met, you see the pot begin to boil. Now the system is run by three pillars: the judiciary, the executive, and the legislature. There is checks and balances. But when these three structures have collapsed into one amalgam, then the checks and balances are dissolved. Now, mark you, Rivers State, as we have it today, was not the dream that our fathers envisaged. Now, point out quickly, if you leave, go and read the inaugural speech of Professor Titi's son, Anokilo, when Rivers State University was established in 1980, 31st October. This state was supposed to be a beacon of hope based on our resources and our resilience and what we went through during the colonial era to the First Republic. The problem we have in Rivers State is that the key political actors, from 2000 thereafter, evolved a system where there's a titular head. Political parties that my father belonged to in NPN, the party was stronger than the governor. But today, he who becomes the governor becomes everything. If you watch videos of previous governors and their statements, they profess to the fact that when once a man is a governor, he's next to God. So now when a man is a governor and a non-governor says, no, you can't be next to God, you must take order from me, then that's the problem. Simply put, the Nigerian architecture of governance has collapsed. Otherwise, how could you have filed a suit touching on such constitutional importance? And as we speak, I'm not sure. The Supreme Court has set in place a panel to try that matter. Ladies and gentlemen, our chiefs and our elders, the matter is simple. Governance must be given back to the people of Rivers State. And that becomes pertinent when the government is aware that when there's time for election, the people decide. As I speak to you, you can see what happened in Canada. You can see what's happening in UK, in America. The people decide who governs them. But in our country, the chief executive, the few political parties, the cabal, decide who governs us. And when they disagree among themselves, we can go to hell. Let us take power back and let power belong to Rivers people. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Tamino Williams. We'd like to listen to, this time, another voice. Remember, we're focusing on understanding the challenge, understanding the problem. I'd like to welcome, please, on stage to speak on this, the chairman, Labour Party, Rivers State, please. Yes. She said, wow. Please put your hands together for Honorable Hilda Dakubo, who joins us, please. Please.
Good morning, Royal Fathers, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Didn't think I was going to speak at all at this function. I came to listen, understanding the problem. And I'm just going to act not as a lawyer. I'm going to act as a daughter of this soil, a mother who looks after children and have worked with a lot of children. And I'll say, this is my understanding of what is wrong here. Within the state, Rivers State, we're not sure who is governing. We don't know who is governing as it is today. But before we arrived here, we had a governor elected by his people, whichever way we want to describe that, because the same way he got into office is the same way that the president of Nigeria got into office, members of the House of Reps and Senate, and everyone else got into office. So if we say the way was wrong, then everyone was wrong coming in the first instance. So if you're coming through the back, then be prepared for whatever is at the back. Two, my understanding of the problem. At a point, there was a pressure, and we could feel the pressure from the utterances of people within the state. The former governor would make utterances, and those who follow him will make utterances. Those who follow the governor will also make utterances. But the utterances always bordered on one thing: who owns the state? Who leads the state? Who is in charge in the state? You can't have a governor and have another person who is in charge. Somebody has to lead, and that person, if we all have said is the governor, then the governor should lead, but we haven't had that. 3, we have had threats flying all over the place. Threats of who can do what against who should do what against who. And those threats are inimical to development, they are inimical to friendship, and they're inimical to the growth of the state and the resources that are there. So we were a people without protection. We just existed in the country, and everything that belonged to us disappeared. But let me trace a little history because it's replaying itself presently. When Governor Peter Odili was governor here, at some point after 4 years, the interest was more on becoming president. And a lot of our resources were plunged into the political party and people all over the country whilst we were neglected. The same exact thing reoccurred with the former governor, now minister. The same throwing around of our resources. We are here now. The governor was here, he didn't have those ambitions, or maybe we haven't reached the point where he would either have the ambition or not have it. But the present man there, if the rumors that we hear is anything to go by, is again throwing our monies around because we don't know where our money is. Nothing has happened in this state in the last 2 months plus. So my understanding is one question that we all need to ask ourselves: can we allow the people of Rivers State decide their governor? We already decided by elections. He's been voted in. Can he return so we move on?
Thank you so much. I'd like to also welcome on stage to speak on understanding the challenges. Please, let's put our hands together as I make welcome spokesperson for the APC Rivers State, Mr. Ikenga Chibike, who joins us here. Please, let's put our hands together. Three minutes.
Good morning, others and participants. Well, straight to the point. The anchor, you didn't mention that the Rivers State House Assembly Speaker and members were equally suspended by the state of emergencies. The benefit of those who didn't hear that, they were also suspended. They are equally representatives as well as the governor and the deputy. That being said, understanding the problem, I had some of my friends who talked about politics without talking about elitary, because in every part of the world, you have those elites, whether they're in business community, they're in politics, in the economy, they control the politics of the place. And you didn't also talk about the substructure and the superstructure. There is a connection. There is a nexus that determines how a state runs. Again, you did not talk about the challenge we have in Rivers State, which is about zero-sum game politics, where if you win, every other person from the state is kicked out. You win everything. And those who won, who lost, loses everything. That's part of the challenge. And to narrow it down to what we have in Rivers State today, there were persons who met under the edges of political parties to protect their own interests. Their own interests may not necessarily be personal interests. It may be how they want the state to be governed. The key areas they want to focus on. And they succeeded in putting a governor, being Governor Siminalayi Fubara. I was of the APC, and I supported Toye Cole till the last day. And I'm an Ikwere man, and Toye Cole is a Calabari man. And then again, we have lost sight of the fact that political disagreements in Rivers State were taken out of the context, and they began to delve into ethnicity. pursuing ethnic agenda of domination. This exacerbated the crisis in Rivers State, where some persons who were friends disagreed, politically speaking, and those disagreements were supposed to be handled politically. But ethnic bigots, some persons started making ethnic rhetorics that led to division that deepened the crisis we have in Rivers State. I do not know what I have all the time, but what I want to say is that we know how we have fought these wars on grounds of ethnicity. It won't take us anywhere. Take this. Rivers State is one people, and we must continue to pursue that trajectory. I tell you, I have friends in Calabari, Okrika, Eche, mention it, mention everywhere. I'm an Ikwere man. Those people are also part of Ikwere. They are part of Rivers State, brother. We are one, we are friends, we are brothers. But we're pursuing political interests. And if we lose, my own postulation is that those who win must create an opportunity to take everyone along. For instance, as the governor of a state, you lead and you are in charge of a government which provides for those who supported you, those who refuse to support you, those who are even neutral. So you must find a way of taking everyone along. More so, in the elite conspiracy, which we have jumped into today, we were not there when decisions were made as to how this system will be run. Wherein those who sat down with the governor, or the team, the structure, the system that produced Governor Simfuma, may have met with him as a group. Those who met and decided who should go to National Assembly, who should be senators, House of Reps, House of Assembly, they have decisions they took. Look, you must first come into office and ensure that in decisions that will be made in furtherance of pursuit of good governance, accountability, transparency, and even to ensure that there is development in Rivers State, certain structures must be consulted, because those who worked must be also respected. They must benefit from their hard work. These are the issues. Let us stop playing to the gallery and leave the main issues and begin to say something else. All over the world, that is how politics is played. But the overall interest is for the development of the people. The overall interest is to ensure consensus, is to ensure peace building for Rivers people, which will ultimately lead to development. We are very unfortunate in Rivers State that the crisis had led us to where we are. But today, I hear peace. The FCT minister talks about peace. The House of Assembly members talking about peace. And the governor, Simfubara, talked about peace. And recently, in his last statement, I think that I applaud the fact that he took a step further. He took a step further by telling some of his supporters, look, your actions are jeopardizing the peace process. I think that all of us should get into the peace process and have our state back. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Please, let's put our hands together. So far, so good for all who have spoken. Thank you. Thank you. We'll not stop there. We would continue. I'm told that out of his busy schedule, like each and every distinguished guest, we thought it wouldn't be possible, but we have him joining us here. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together for Professor Benjamin Okaba, President INC. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. All right. What about the law? Well, still looking at understanding the challenges, I would like for us to quickly bring on stage Honorable Christian Ahiakwo. He's a former lawmaker. Please let him join us and let's get his insights, the insights from the law aspect. Thank you so much.
Good morning, distinguished colleagues. My time is just 3 minutes. Just like he has rightly said, I will dwell more on the law. The caption of our gathering here is from crisis to resolution. So my question is, was there supposed to be any crisis? If you ask me, I would say no, I've been sure. There wasn't supposed to be any crisis. We have our law. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as altered, is there. And that is the grand norm. It's like the Bible for those who are Christians, and then the Quran for the Muslims. Now, what are the duties of a legislator? One is to make law, to oversight the executive and the judiciary, and of course, to go back to your people and convey their feedback to government for further implementation of programs and projects. Somebody took over office in May 29th. June, July, August, September. October, Assembly is serving an impeachment notice. What infraction did he actually commit? What infractions? All the programs he was continuing were programs of the previous, our own administration. I was in the Assembly for 8 years. All the programs the governor was carrying on were our programs. The budget he was using was our budget, the one we passed in December 2023. So, in my own understanding, I have dissected the whole thing. He committed no infraction. So there was not supposed to be any crisis ab initio. But from nowhere, there was crisis. And the crisis led us to where we are. So, my brothers and sisters, the law is there. Governance is about the people. Governance is not about an individual. For you to be elected, you must be voted by the people. For you to emerge as a candidate of a party, some persons must support you. But after the election, you become the property of the entire state and not the property of an individual. For me, this is the beginning of the crisis and nothing more. We are all in River State. We saw what happened. That is the beginning of the crisis. So ab initio, there was not supposed to be any crisis because there was no infraction on the Constitution. There was no infraction with respect to finance. There was no infraction with respect to programs and activities of the state. So there was not supposed ab initio to be any crisis. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm sure we, just give me a few seconds. I'm checking the names of, we do have more distinguished guests coming in, so we just want to ensure that we have that carefully. Once again, please, let's put our hands together. Thank you. Thank you for so far, so good. I'm sure we're making headway, are we? We're starting to understand the problem. And you could drop a comment or two on our social media page. We're streaming live, like we rightly said, on Facebook, Meta, YouTube, as well as on X. So if you have a comment or two, please drop. Thank you once again. So far, so good. Let's also bring on stage State Secretary, People's Redemption Party. We have Synchro Uchendu, who's here with us. Please, let's welcome him as he joins us. Let's still get a diverse or different view from different political parties, as we rightly said. Please come forward. Please, let's put our hands together for him. Thank you. Thank you. We've heard from the PDP. Not yet, okay. The APC, let's listen to you now.
Thank you very much. Our view from the PROP is very clear. First, we want to distance ourselves from this problem happening in Rivers State. We're not happy about it. Like the last speaker said, this problem ought not to happen at the first place. And that's very succinct. That's very clear. But the question is, this same issue will happen again very soon in the next 2 years. 2 years from now, same will happen again. How do I mean? A system where somebody handpicks another and goes on tour around the 23 local governments for campaign, and the man who eventually will emerge as governor is never heard. That's where another problem will be. So we are saying that going forward, Rivers people should be allowed to choose who they want to represent them in every strata of the society. in governance. For whoever wants to be governor, the person should be allowed to reel out his programs and policies to Rivers people, where we wisely choose. We should not be allowed going forward where one man sits in his high horse and abode and begin to determine who he will pick from the crowd to say, I'll make you governor, and when I make you governor, you will rule the state based on my whims and caprices. To us, the PROP in Rivers State, we say no. This problem started, emanated from that very beginning 2 years ago, when, with every sense of responsibility, the suspended governor of Rivers State is doing very well. From the side of the PROP in Rivers State, we applaud this governor of Rivers State. But we think that his emergence actually snowballed what we're having today in Rivers State. A system wherein the governor never spoke to the people of Rivers State all through the 23 local governments. We had the current minister of the FCT campaigning and speaking for the now governor of Rivers State. That situation should not be allowed to happen again. If we curb that particular situation, we will not have situations like this where a man will decide what happens in Rivers State, and if it's not going his way, he will want to hold the state to stand still. We therefore ask at this point that all Rivers people should come together. It should be a concerted effort that Rivers sons and daughters should sincerely, without political leaning or inclination, condemn wholeheartedly this current political situation in Rivers State. On our part, as the People's Redemption Party Rivers State, we wholesomely, unequivocally, without mincing words, condemn the current usurpation of our elected government here in Rivers State. We condemn it. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much. Well, if you recall, just like before we started the program, we had mentioned that it is only normal that when aggrieved persons come together, there's a likelihood that some would go overboard in expressing their grievances. But we want to remember to guide ourselves back. For those who just came in, our goal is not to bring each and every one of us together, as it were, with our swords. Our goal is to sheath our swords and let's deliberate the way forward. So please, in our utterances, we also want to be mindful. You might state how you feel and so on, but we don't want to make it so harsh, in other words, targeted at a certain individual or people. Let me quickly welcome on stage, while we're still looking at understanding the issues, please, let's make welcome another person who will be speaking with us here. I'd like to call on Honorable Bright Ameole to please join us here on stage. If is, do we have Honorable Bright Ameole, please? Yes, yes. I'm sorry, I was looking behind. Please put your hands together for him, please.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me also thank this station for the good work you're doing today for Rivers people. I've actually listened to those who have spoken earlier, and then I can just come up with the conclusion that they don't understand what actually happened and what led us to this point. And I also understand that some people are not also speaking as politicians, because what we're talking about is the governance of Rivers State. For you to be elected, first of all, you must be backed by one single individual. And now that individual now brings you up either to the party or to the masses, where people will now gather generally to elect you. You don't just succeed by coming out on your own and want to impose yourself upon the people. The other issue is this. People who never supported SIM from the beginning. My name is Bright Amewule, the President General of Grassroots Development Initiative, GDI Worldwide. And there's nobody that is here that's an indigenous of Rivers State that will not realize or that will not understand the role GDI played in the emergence of Sim Fubara as governor of Rivers State. Before the campaign proper, we moved Sim from one local government to another, not the honorable minister. GDI was the group that prepared Sim into being accepted by the people of Rivers, even when he was rejected by the people who claim to be his brothers and sisters now. Even when those who now came around him after he emerged as governor, asking him not to listen to any other person, asking him not to be loyal to the political party that brought him on board again. These were the problems. Because as soon as he assumed office, the party was no more relevant. GDI was no more relevant. The next thing we could see is a party that never existed in Rivers State. APP never existed in Rivers State. You now welcome APP, using it to undo your political party. And people are happy with that. The other thing is that, like people have said here too, let it not continue in 2027, as somebody said here, whoever that will become governor, not to rule Rivers State with friends that he will appoint by himself as the assembly members to enable him squander the money meant for Rivers State without due approval. And finally, what led us to this place is that the Supreme Court at the end of the day found out that there was no governance in Rivers State from 2023, October, till the time that he was removed. Now you talk of the issue of state of emergency that happened. Supreme Court gave a judgment. Now, instead of those who call themselves elders and leaders of the state, to now call this man to order to say, obey the law of the country. That is the supreme law of the country. What they now did was to continue to go around with him, to even set up what they call IDP camps along the obliquary axis of Port Harcourt International Airport road that has no relevance here in Rivers State. So my people, what I'm saying is, while we are looking forward, people are saying, give us back the power. The power is with Rivers people. What they have done is to make sure there is peace. Because when people were threatening, when people were trying to bring in ethnicity, like somebody said here, I never heard anybody calling them to order to say, leave the issue of ethnicity. When Chiba says Wike was governor of Rivers State, nobody could say, and I've never heard it, and nobody could as well say it tomorrow, that Wike played the issue, the politics of ethnicity in Rivers State. There was never a time Ikwere people said they are the owners of Rivers State. There was never a time Ikwere people said that they will burn this Rivers State down. The first time we are hearing that the people will burn down Rivers State is out of the emergence of Sim Fubara. Please, let this stop once and for all in this state. Thank you, and God bless all of us.
Please, let's all put our hands together, please, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for so far so good, all the speakers. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we've heard from different quarters. Let's also hear from the residents. Maybe those without any political, party. I'd like to call on Kemwell Igbanibo to please come on stage. Please, let's listen to him. And don't forget that this first segment of the conversation is slowly rounding up before we go to the second. Here, we're just talking about understanding the issues.
Good morning, everybody. We are here to talk about the political situation in Rivers State. I've just heard our GDM chairman in Rivers State telling us that when SIM came through the GDM, they supported him all through. Like the other speaker, previous speaker said, what did he do? The lawyer said, what did he do that warranted the impeachment process that almost burned the Rivers State? I am asking you, what caused it? The point is, somebody somewhere who thinks that he's the owner of Rivers State, who thinks that he is the owner of Rivers State, took this position and influenced. You spoke. You said you spoke. You took that position. No. I don't know.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please hold on. Hold on.
I am person like you, right?
Hold on. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Please. You have a... Oh, hold on.
I'm not from River State. My name is Kemalek Banimo. What does Ibana mean?
All right, hold on. I'm sure as... Let's settle down. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's settle down. Hold on. Ladies and gentlemen, remember we gave the rules. Remember we gave the rules here. Please, let's... Honorable. Honorable members, please, we would... All right, so... Hold on. Honorable members, please, let's take our seats. Honorable members, please, let's take our seats, please. Please, we are broadcasting live and would like each and every one of us to please. There are ways we can respond to this. We have the power, which is the microphone. Please, we have the microphone. We have the microphone, please. Please, we have the microphone. Please, honorable members, please, let's sit down. Our distinguished guests, please. Let's have one house, please. Distinguished guests. Distinguished guests. Please. All right, please, let's sit down. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please. Please, let's find our seats, please. Let's not get aggravated, please. You know, the thing is, this is just the first part. This is just the first part. We are talking about understanding the challenges. Please, Shola, please help me with this. Just stay with me. Stay here, please. Thank you. Please. We need to make some things clear, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Please. At the start of this event, we mentioned clearly that we have broken this town hall into sessions. The first session is understanding the challenge, the problem. Please, it is like a man who goes to the hospital. He is sick. The doctor will carry out diagnosis. In the process of the diagnosis, there could be different feelings from the body. Headache, leg pain, stomach, back. It is exactly what we are seeing here now. When we have the microphone in this town hall, we may express what we understand. But you see, distinguished gentlemen, that's why we broke it down into segments. There's a part in the segment that says, solution. Where do we go to from here? So if we don't understand what the next man understands, it may mean that, in quotes, I, as the anchor, I'm learning. I might be in a fool's paradise if I take only one side. So maybe we can just soften our hearts a bit. The person speaking may not know, but when the mic comes to you, you can help him and the millions of Nigerians who are tying onto the program now, watching, to understand what the problem is. I mean, Honorable spoke and he made a point. I never saw it that way. And I said, okay. And someone else spoke from here and I said, okay. Just opposing the two. So please, we would like to beg, whatever anyone says here, we've tried, yes, we will try and caution, which we've done, try as much as possible. But we want to see ourselves as we have come to just express how hot, how pained we are. It may mean that because I'm pained or he's pained, a certain remark may not go down well with me. But it is also my opportunity when I have the mic to correct and redirect. Okay. So we've taken that point. Hold on. Please. They've made, but you see, it's two-way, eh? Sir, please. Please, in the process of the diagnosis, they've said that that statement didn't go down well with them. I'm just saying, that's what they said. On the other side, they said there's no problem with it. So, what we are going to do, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please, let's not insult anyone. It is not the goal for this gathering. Please. We have the elder statesmen in our midst. We have the older ones we look up to. So, please, let's handle it. Can you speak on umbilical community?
That's the defeat. They are defeated. That means I'm supporting them. I know the Rivers man. I see the pain and the other with me. And that's me.
Okay.
Ask them, what is son? What have I insulted? Tell me. Tell me, where have I insulted every day?
All right, we'll wait a while so we can douse the tension a bit. Please, let's douse the tension. Please, let's douse the tension. Please, we'll douse the tension. As it is now, since let's douse the tension a little. Please. Let's douse the tension so that we can reach the goal in which we want to reach. Please. We would not reach any goal if, please. All right. Okay. All right, so this is what... Okay. Beautiful. All right, so please, let's, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for coming. I believe our coming here was to meet face to face, eye to eye, and profile a solution. Please. You
called
it's fine. So please, we would, he has roughly just 1 minute 20 seconds to finish up. Okay, that's 1 minute 48 seconds. 1 minute 48 seconds. 1 minute 48 seconds.
I'll come on the other side.
Are you willing to do that? I appreciate you doing that. I appreciate you doing that. Okay. We have, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, he has decided to lead by saying that he would rest and come back and continue his conversation. And we do hope, thank you so much. That's a very good one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, in order not to heat up the polity, let me quickly welcome on stage His Highness Anabs Sarabwe to please join us on stage. National Publicity Secretary, Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF. Please, let's put our hands together. As a respected, please, let's put our hands. Let's keep clapping, please. Keep clapping, please, keep clapping. Keep clapping. Keep clapping. Thank you so much. I'm sure when he speaks, I'm sure we would not interrupt.
Thank you. Respected leaders, chiefs, may I recognize the National President of the INC, Professor Kaba, and other respected leaders. I'm sorry I came late because I had other engagements. Where we are today is how do we resolve our problem? To me, the problem is very simple. Same and this boss at issue, Wiki. Two of them can lock themselves in the room and resolve this matter. It's a very simple matter. River State is suffering today. Our economy is suffering today. Before now, projects are being commissioned every month. For now, a stranger, a complete stranger, who is not a Rivers man, is on seat. Nobody knows what he's doing with our resources. We are not here now to discuss who is wrong and who is right. Where we are today is, how do we move River State forward? This world is not our own. Nobody knows what will happen tomorrow. But we want peace in River State. We want peace, and so we want Mr. President to quickly set up the committee he promised. The likes of Kuka, the likes of General Musalam, let them call both parties, sit down with them, and resolve this matter. National Assembly has made a lot of mistakes because they went contrary to the Constitution, Section 11(4). It's very clear that they cannot make law that will remove a governor or a deputy governor. To that extent, they have made a mistake, so they've lost their respect. So what we need today, either Sim and Wiki enter a room and lock themselves. If we put them there, they will resolve something. I remember in Bayelsa, between Goodluck Jonathan, when he was a governor, and Timi Alaibi, what President did was just simple. Call Timi Alaibi, call Goodluck. Share your office. Come, position 30% to Timi Alaibi, 70% to the governor. Diri today, the governor Diri today was one of the beneficiaries of that arrangement. And peace returned to Bayelsa. That arrangement is one of the arrangements they can do to be able to get peace. Whatever we say, bygone is bygone. If you want to discuss the old history, what happens, what don't happen, we will not move forward. We will move forward as Rivers people. We are in different parties today. Tomorrow we'll meet another party. Some of us are the owners, founders of PDP in Rivers State. We brought PDP in Rivers State. At the point we left PDP. And today we are not a political party. So if we all of us bury our asset and make peace, we come together, we lose nothing. The wealth of Rivers State is so big, like elephant meat. One man cannot eat it. Politics is dynamic. There are a lot of changes that take place. So I will appeal to this House Let us talk about peace. Nothing surpasses peace. When we resolve this matter, it will be a lesson to other people. Because if we don't resolve this matter, I can assure you what will come out of it will be worse. It will affect the common man, the grass will suffer. Mr. President himself will suffer. The two leaders we are talking about, Same and Wike, will suffer. All of us here will suffer if there is no peace. Those of us who witnessed the Civil War will tell you many people that died never participated in the crisis. The leaders that participated in the crisis, they did not die. It's those who did not participate that died in that Civil War. And Rivers State is now the only state in Nigeria that is not democratically governed, which is also contrary to the Constitution. So if we bury our ashes and we come back to democracy by allowing those we elected to rule, I think it will move us further. I appeal to Same to humble himself as he's doing, still go back to his master, Wike, talk to him, lock the door, and make peace. I also appeal to Wike to open his arms like he did when Same went the first time. He embraced him and dragged him out of the car, and they went alone to discuss. We want to see the outcome of that discussion. Let them resolve whatever differences they have in the interest of Rivers State. Wike is a leader. He should know that as a father, he brought him. And so he must lead him through. If you bring somebody and you will destroy him on the way, you are destroying yourself. You are destroying your legacy. So whatever Same has done, or whatever Wike has done, both of them should forgive themselves. Impeachment or no impeachment will not help us. I can tell you, I sat down and asked, why did Mr. President violate the Constitution? And when I looked at it, yes, I agree with him. If we allow this crisis to continue, Rivers State will boil and people will die. Otherwise, constitutionally, he has no right to do it, but he did it in the interest of all of us. Because the way we are behaving, we will not even bother whether what we are doing is right or not. We can decide to kill ourselves. Because if you impeach him and you think there will be peace, there will be no peace. So if today there is room for assembly members who are aggrieved, who are Same personal friends, because I asked him, who are these people? He said, they are my friends. And if they are friends, they should be able to reconcile. What we need now is reconciliation. And all of us will be part of the building that peace. If we don't build that peace, then we are not leaders. And as leaders, the stage we are is how to build that peace. So I appeal to all of us here, and those outside here, to embrace peace. Peace is the ultimate. Thank you very much.
Please, let's put our hands together. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, a commanding sound and a speech well made and clear to each and every one of us. But we'd like to look at this situation now away from understanding the challenges. I think we do understand it now. It's clear. And we've seen a bit of symptom of the challenges even here. Isn't that so? Yes. But now let's get a different view, this time from the civil society organizations. Let's see what neutral view they have and what their perspectives truly are from this. I would like to call on the convener, Unite Nigeria Campaign, Elder Christian Leke, to please join us here as he speaks with us, tells us very clearly what he thinks about the entire situation. Please, can we welcome? I'm sure we can do better. Please, let's put our hands together one more time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I greet every one of us while I beg to stand on existing protocol. I've heard what everybody has spoken, and I'll also do well to maintain my 3 minutes. You wonder why an Ogoni man like me will want Nigeria to be united, when we are one of the greatest victims of the injustice that the Nigerian state has meted out to his people. But in spite of that, I look beyond the crisis. So if we continue to fight, we would never know peace. And like there was a mention of it a couple of moments ago, those who actually drove the civil war, who were behind the civil war, those who participated, those who were drivers of the agenda that led to the conflict, most of them survived. The innocent ones lost their lives. You can only imagine what happened to those who were disabled, those who were children. If you see what happened to people, those who saw the civil war would not want to see an ordinary riot today. But those who never saw it, they will boast of the strength they have, and they are prepared for so many wars. I just pray that we'll look beyond all of this, and like my big brother said, Chief Saraigwe, we should learn how to end this conflict. As long as we remain divided and we don't think about uniting as a people, we would never make any headway. The crisis in Rivers State was a pathetic one. I am being optimistic because I believe that we'll get beyond it and this problem will be solved. And it's a shame to every wise Rivers man, because not through democratic force we want to see an emergency rule under a democratic system. I'm sure that the Minister of the FCT is not happy, but he was choiceless. I'm sure that nobody here is happy. As the conscience of the society, we'll look for where we'll find a bridge, where everybody can come together. And I can tell you for sure that the greatest gift that the parties involved can give to each other is the gift of forgiveness. There's nothing much more than that. It is time to look beyond the crisis. Let us think of how to collectively reappropriate a common focus for ourselves. We've lost a lot so far. How do we regain our place within the Committee of Democratic States in Nigeria? So on that note, I want to say that as long as people want to hold on to their factional interests, their group interests, because if you look at this crisis from the onset, it was purely a family affair. The problem caused by the PDP, it emanated from the PDP, and when we saw that a whole lot was going on, a lot of interest came to play. We don't want it to remain a PDP affair. And that was why some people idealize the struggle and challenges. Some people, if I must create a language, equalize and organicalize the problem. It is no longer time to look for any of those factional interests. Let us see ourselves as one indivisible Rivers family. I would be ashamed to go out there to even talk about uniting Nigeria when my home is in crisis. So please, I want to appeal to everybody, every well-meaning person here, and those who are wounded, those who have been offended in any way, that let us do well to think about the good, the greater good of all Rivers people. Some time ago, I was on radio and I talked about Transamadi. That was an industrial hub. If you go there, it's like a desert, no matter the activity going on. So we've been backward for so long. Let us unite. If we unite, we'll fix the problem and we'll get past this stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me also quickly welcome on stage a man who wears many hats. So I'm just going to pick one of them. Please, ladies and gentlemen, remember we're looking at it from the neutral eye, looking at the issue from that aspect. From a civil society organization, or I could say organizations that he runs, please let's put our hands together for the convener, Albino Foundation, Rivers State. Please put your hands together for Mr. Jake Epele, who joins us here. please.
It's not River State. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please let me start on a very philosophical note. Number one, and hear me, every one of us here, whether you are for, against, the day you were born, you cried, and everyone around you rejoiced. Please live your life that the day you die, you will rejoice, and everyone around you will cry. Ladies and gentlemen, you are known for two things: the problem you created or the problem you solve. Please be known for the problem you solve. That said, Wike is an indigene of River State. Sim is an indigene of River State. We must support both of them to resolve their issues so that they will lead this state, that the common man will breathe, that the River State and the Rivers people, what we are known for is our dignity, our pride, our humility, the fact that we are willing to open our doors for everyone to come in and dine with us. Let's begin the process of healing. Let's begin the process of reconstruction. Let's begin the process of inclusion. And I will end on this note. I think we have been tackling a very important word, and that is understanding. Without taking you backward, there are three critical elements that helps understanding. Number one is comprehension. And I think that's what this channel had brought us here, to comprehend the problem so that we can be better informed. Number two is interpretation. And that's where lies the problem. Oftentimes, we interpret from the lenses we wear. And most times, when you're interpreting the wrong thing, you don't even know it. And thirdly, and most important, is discernment. Being able to know what is right or wrong, without standing here and looking like the teacher that I am not. Let me say it times without number. And of course, you know I'm a proud Opopo person. We have come from the same place with Siminalai, but I will stand and define issues objectively and calm the nerves of those who are hurting so that we can achieve peace. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important that we know, and it dawned on me yesterday, that all that is being said, even by this sole administrator, nothing has been said of persons with disability. Where are they in the equation? What is being done to ensure access to health, access to education, access to social services, access to grants that will send them to school? When a society neglects the most marginalized, that society is sick. And we must not be that society that is sick. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a true Rivers man, and I'm proud to be one. This is not who we are, and this is not who we should let the world see us as we are. We must resolve this crisis. That's what leadership is all about. And we will do it in our own time so that this generation will forgive us of the things that we have done. And please, my brothers and sisters, let us learn. Average Rivers man respects their elders. And I stand here today as my last word to apologize to every leader that have been insulted, to everyone that have taken time to do the needful so that this state will stand. Sir, convey our apologies to your generation. We respect you. You fought for us. You stood for us. Some of us went to school because you have to shelve your own comfort to ensure that where we are. Ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters, let the healing begin now. I recognize my president, the Joe National Congress. I recognize Pandif. I recognize everyone that is here. Please, let it be that the day you die, someone will stand up and cry for you because you left a legacy and his shoes he's not sure the next person living will be able to fill. My name is Dr. J. Kepele. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kepele. Thank you. We'll take one more civil society organization, and after that, definitely, we would move to the next phase of this conversation. But so far, so good. We want to thank our friends who have decided to join us, those who are joining us online, those who are streaming as well. Don't forget, we are live on DSTV, channel 422, Star Times 274, and GoTV, channel 23. If you're thirsty and you need water, we have water at the back there, so please feel free to make your way at the back. If you need something to drink, you can have that. Also, if you need to use the restroom, it's outside, just turn left and you'd find where the restroom is. Let's move to the next person who will be addressing and speaking on the issue, looking at it from a neutral point of view. I'd like to welcome Courage Nsiri Removal Coordinator, Pilex Center for Civic Education Initiative. Please, let's put our hands together for Courage as he joins us, please.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, elders of Rivers State, politicians present here, leaders of civil society organizations, traditional rulers. It's a pleasure for us to be here today and join this conversation. I've been listening to our elders in Rivers State. I've been listening to the politicians. However, we need to also consider the people. Our Constitution says sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria. And if we don't fix the major issues that actually puts that sovereignty on the people, then I think what is happening in Rivers State would be a recurrent decimal. And that is solving the problems in our electoral system. So the question that comes to mind right now is, our votes, does it count? Do you understand? So if we don't deal with that issue, and if one person, one man can decide who rules this state at every point in time, it may be one man today, it may be another man tomorrow, because the governor that leaves wants to decide the next governor. Then it's no longer a democracy, which should be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So until we talk about amending the Constitution, then we'll continue to have this issue. And the major issue in this our Constitution, which the discussion is on transmission of votes from the polling units. So civil society organizations here, politicians, it affects everybody. We need to come together and push that agenda before the next election. It may be Rivers State today, and then it's another state. So the people will continue to be slaves to politicians if we don't deal with these electoral issues. Now let's come to the issue of the Constitution itself. How did this decision come about? Our history tells us that sometime around 2004, the then president of Nigeria also declared state of emergency in Plateau State and another state. And people like the present president went to court. What did the Supreme Court say? The Supreme Court said, even if you declare state of emergency, you do not have the power to remove, to suspend the governor. So we are here because of impunity at the highest level. Constitution clearly says this is how something should be done. The president comes on air and says state of emergency takes place immediately. Where is that done? You know, this is terrible illegality. And we are here today. This is where we found ourselves. So people of Rivers State, especially we the people, we need to come together. You know, I've asked myself, what kind of peace are we looking for? Is it the kind of peace where sometime in Anambra State, one man sits there and tells the governor, come and see me, and come with the entire allocation of the state? Is it the kind of peace we're looking for in Rivers State? Then have it. If that's what you want, have it. And the people in Rivers State will continue to suffer. So that is not the kind of peace we are looking for in Rivers State. The kind of peace we are looking for in Rivers State is not just the peace for Rivers State, it's for Nigeria. And what is that peace we are looking for? Constitutional democracy, where the electoral system works, where our votes count, where the governor is accountable to the people of Rivers State. And if we don't have that, then we are slaves. And I refuse to be a slave, and I know that the people refuse to be slaves. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, we've heard from the civil society organizations. We've heard from at the same time, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is only right that we also hear from the law, from the aspects of the law. We did hear earlier on from the aspects of the law, and that was when we looked at the issues. But now we're looking at it from the different angle, from the neutral perspective. I would like to welcome quickly Mr. Emmanuel John. He is the Vice Chairman, Nigeria Bar Association, River State Chapter. Please, let's put our hands together.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to be here. Like most speakers have said, we need peace. First, a question was asked, understanding the crisis. Now, how do we understand the crisis? What happened? The crisis began because of godfatherism in Nigerian politics. Now, this led to Rivers State having two parallel houses of assemblies, where one was loyal to the FCT minister and another loyal to the sitting governor. And because of that, it was assumed that governance was not moving in Rivers State. Through that, we now got to the stage where we heard that the 27 lawmakers have defected. That is where the issue of law now comes in. What does the law say about defection? And somebody has said we need to amend our electoral act, and I agree with you totally. Because the electoral act, even though they said once you defect, you've defected. But they did not say that it is immediate, or if you go to court to interpret it. Howbeit, that is how we have found ourselves in the situation we have found ourselves today. It led to the fact that there was purported to be security crisis here and there, which now brought in the president when they said there were pipeline explosions and threats to security. Be that as it may, the question to be asked, the crisis, the so-called crisis in Rivers State, is it one that would have led to the declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State? Assuming, but not conceding, that it is, and the state of emergency has been declared, the action of the president suspending the governor, was it right or wrong? That is another question. Now, we are talking of peace. How do we move from here? The only way we can move from here, if you ask me, is for us to swallow our pride. Everybody that is involved should swallow their pride. Let us humble ourselves and know that posterity will judge us for whatever actions we take. Those who are involved should know no man is an island. And the actions we take today might favor our kids, our family members, or the other way around. Let us come together, talk like brothers. In politics, they say, no permanent friend, no permanent enemy. Let those involved come together, speak to themselves. Somebody has said, put them in a room, they should discuss like brothers, and let bygone be bygone. And know that whatever actions they take today will affect not just themselves, generations yet unborn. I pray that the peace we seek will come to play, will come to fruition. We have our elder statesmen here. I'm happy meeting my elder. I have heard from primary school, we've been hearing their names. But the elders, I must say, you have a big role to play. Again, religious leaders, where are they? We all respect our pastors. In all the churches we attend, they should call the players. There is none of us who is involved in this thing that does not go to church. Let their leaders talk to them. After God, we respect our pastors. So let these men of God call these people to order. Let them know there is God. If we continue and any blood that is lost or shed, the people causing this crisis will carry it. I pray the combatants will come together, talk to themselves, and let there be peace in our state. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. So, I'd like to quickly invite as well the human rights activist, Nigeria Bar Association. Do we have Cordelia A.K. Esquire here with us? Okay, all right. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Okay, all right, so we've been able to go around. Let's quickly go around again before we also land with some of the dignitaries who are here to speak to us. I'd like to welcome Chairman Rivers Indigenous NGOs and Civil Society Network. Please, let's please, let's welcome Tombari Dumka Kotu, who joins us here. Please, please.
Good afternoon, elders of River State. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everyone in this hall because we are here for peace. And I want to beg those who are still fanning embers of war that you should remember that River State is losing in all this. Someone mentioned about what has happened to the people with disability, what has happened to our children. Go to our markets, you see that people are no longer selling. Our economy is going down the drain. we, as a people, we need to go back to history to look at what was the vision of the founding fathers of Rivers State. What made them move for the creation of a special state which accommodates their interests? Maybe that will lead us to some areas where we will have that concern for peace. It is also very important that so that we don't go back this path, our laws in this country, the Constitution, the Electoral Act, needs also to be revisited. It is very important because ranging from party politics to our national and state governance system, if we don't get it right, then we may come back to where we are tomorrow. When this crisis started, it was like a father and son relationship. Today, why are Rivers people involved? It is because it's about Rivers State. I want to urge everyone here, the Rivers Indigenous NGOs and Civil Society Network, from the first day when the assembly complex went in flames, we had called on parties, we've called on elder statesmen, we've called on religious leaders, and we also offered to provide whatever assistance that would be needed to ensure that the parties, the father and the son, go in and resolve their difference without bringing Rivers people on board. Today, I can tell you, it has gone beyond the father and the son. You and I are seated here. I believe a whole lot of persons here have one business or the other would have gone for. But we are now here because the father and the son relationship was not handled properly. And we want to beg of them that there is crisis between a parent or a father, political father, and the son should not lead to the type that we consume our state in future. The state is precious to us. And I think in every democracy, there are processes, there are means. Some have mentioned in the past that it is fear of impeachment. Some have also mentioned in the past that it is because of a sharing formula. But irrespective of what it may be, I think in every democracy, if the laws are kept to, if the judicial system is functional, if the legislative system is functional, and the executive system is functional, then no one is above the law, and the law should be followed tenaciously to ensure that if anyone has erred, you follow the law. Impeachment is not an offense. It is known to any democracy in the world. So that they want to impeach somebody does not warrant that a state of emergency should have even been declared in the first place. We have states that have crises. I know there were some mismanagements of information that also played out. But then, as Rivers people, we should take that message home and tell our politicians, both those who are here, those who are not here, that Rivers State is losing in the heat of this crisis. Be you in APC, be you in PDP, be you in Labour, ABGA, whatever party, Rivers State is losing. Someone mentioned that projects are being commissioned monthly. You need to visit the project sites along the road. You see that things are going down. Please, Rivers people, let us think Rivers first and believe that whatever issues we have can be settled in-house and not by external factors, because they may not have our interest. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We're moving close to, although some of the speakers are already proffering solutions, so we'll still touch base on that. Don't forget, we have just a few more minutes to go for this town hall. I would like to welcome on stage, we're welcoming two persons. I'll start with the very first, who will be speaking to us for 3 minutes. He's a former House leader, RVHA. His name is Tamuno Sisi Gogojaja. He will be speaking to us now. So please, we'd like to welcome him to join us on stage.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say to News Central, maybe if you have some information we have, we wouldn't be looking at understanding the crisis, because I believe that we've gone past this stage. And to say that those of us who are politicians, we understand how and what the crisis, if you call it crisis, started. When a politician wants to defect or want to leave a team, excuses like, I came to greet the principal in the morning and he didn't answer me, can warrant defection. There is no crisis. That's just the truth about the matter. There is none. The problem which started as a problem between father and son snowballed into problem within a team. From there, it went to the states. And as we speak, I want to believe that it is even beyond those of us who are indigenous of Rivers State. I am privileged to be part of the orderly team. I know what it costed orderly to draft British Airways to start flying from Port Harcourt, because certain authorities, certain powers didn't want international airlines to take off from Port Harcourt, because the losses of Rivers State are the gains of Lagos State. The state of emergency, who is benefiting from it? Let's look at this analogy. I am the sole administrator, and I come from a certain village, and there is no road to my village, and I am made sole administrator of Rivers State today. Won't I take money from Rivers State to construct road to my village? Have you checked what is going on? And I am a sole administrator from another state appointed to come and reign in this state. Have you checked if I have not raised prayer teams to keep me permanently on the seat? I don't know if I'm addressing Rivers people. The issue of Rivers State is not an ethnic issue. Anybody who tells you that we're politicians, we can adduce any reason to advance our positions. It is not. It is not. It is also not because I want to have all to myself. But I wish to say that those of us who feel otherwise, Governor Sim Fubara is the most misinterpreted and misunderstood, because he's not used to coming to. But whatever it is, Rivers State is bleeding. By the time we finish, assuming we remain in state of emergency for 6 months, let's even assume that we remain in state of emergency for 6 months. It will take us another 8 years to recover what we have lost in 6 months. So if it goes beyond that, we may not recover. And therefore, I think that we understand what the issues are. We do. And therefore, for the sake of
the future generation of Rivers State. For the sake of our children, I saw online this morning, somebody posted somewhere in Oyibo how dilapidated our schools are. Children that are sitting on bare floor to study. I think that the earlier we come together, the better, all right, correct, the better for the future of Rivers State. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'd like to call on stage now former Rivers APC Chairman Igor Aguma to please come forward to address us. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you for coming through. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I want to say thank you to News Central for trying to put this together. But I think we should be moving forward to solution. But what we have here is that the crisis merchants, who are the biggest beneficiaries of this, who are these people stoking it, and at the same time, they want to be the peacemaker. It will not work. It will not work. We are seeing them here. It will not work. All of them have canvassed their state of mind. After all, the last speaker was describing Siminalayi Fubara, but he wasn't there for his election. He wasn't there. So, please, I also say this. I guess I have the floor. Well, I'll say this. Truth is bitter. Truth is very, very bitter. And I'm saying it. You cannot stop me from talking. Truth is bitter. Let me say this. There are two parties to this conflict. The suspended governor and the suspended assembly. They are the two parties to this conflict. Every other person, I can tell you, these two parties, if they interface among and between themselves, will move forward. But the interlopers will never want it to happen. And I commend the governor a few days ago for his statement. That statement is a statement that could lead to peace. Politics is an economic game, it's not a social club. It's an economic game, and they all know it. You get it? And I tell you, even in every company, everybody wants to put in his own successor to carry on with his dream, so it's nothing new. It is known in management that it works, and it is known in politics that it also works. Truth is truth. And when we brought Siminalayi forward, we defeated you people well. You get it? Very well. So today you cannot love him more than us. We love him. We brought him. We saw the qualities in him. And we believe that without your distractions, those qualities will deliver dividends of democracy to Rivers State. I advise the governor to go and meet his assembly members, to go and meet our leader. I'll tell you, Wike is our leader. He brought all of us together and said, this is the person I want to succeed me. Support me. Wike was not in Port Harcourt local government area on the day of election. I was there. His own vote plus my own vote brought about the victory of Siminalayi Fubara. And you people opposed us. So that is government, his own vote. People galvanize people to come out and vote everywhere. People galvanize people. In America, you have the people who knock on doors to come, ask people to come and vote for my candidate. It's democracy. We do it. Even in family meeting, we do it. So even in church, yes, we do it. So I want to say this clearly. I believe that the time for how water entered melon has passed. We now need Rivers State to move forward. And the first step to moving forward is that let the crisis merchants take a back seat and allow the governor and his assembly members to sit down and then have a rapport amongst them to move this state forward. Truth is bitter. Thank you.
We have Comrade Nwisabari Bani Samuel. It's time to hear from the youth aspect. Let's listen to the youths. What are the Rivers youth saying? Is Rivers Chairman, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Rivers State Chapter. Please, let's put our hands together for him, please.
Distinguished guests here present, permit me to stand on well-established protocol. It will be sad that we'll pretend that we don't know that we had very enormous crisis in Rivers State. Permit me to quote former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, which formerly recited an Indian proverb, that those who pretend to sleep when they are not sleeping, it is difficult to wake them. I don't know what you make of burning down of state infrastructure. That which you don't have resources to build, the little we have, we are burning it down. I don't know what you make of burning down a House of Assembly and you say there is peace. It means we are being selective to justice, we are being selective to truth. I want to call on the Assembly, suspended by the President, and the Governor suspended, to do us a favor. Come together before these 6 months is over. Because if they don't, we are not going to lose as Rivers people for their own failure to coming together to give us governance as described by the Supreme Court. If they fail to do this, we shall also call on the President to extend this emergency rule. That's your opinion. I'm speaking for my community. You do not have the right to stop the voice of my community. And let me say it again. Let me say it again. Let me say this loud and clear. There cannot be peace in Rivers State if people responsible for the burning down of our assembly are not brought to book. What do you call peace? When people who have killed, people who have burned down our deposit of our common resources, what do you call peace? If these people are not brought to book, it's simply clear that the peace we are all yearning for is for politicians and cronies and beneficiaries to just look for a way to circumvent Rivers people and continue with what they are doing. But as Rivers youth, we will stand against it. Going forward, we are saying that the President has done well for Rivers people by bringing this solution. It is palpable in the atmosphere that there was tension. Sorry, with all due respect to my leader who just spoke, he said in a school in Oyibo, Iche, is it Iche? Okay, whether it is in Rivers State, that's the most important thing. Tamuno Sisi Gogo Jaja, with all due respect, he was a commissioner of education. And the dilapidated school does not just happen in 2 months of the sole administrator. So who are we fooling here? We had the opportunity as Rivers people to effect changes, but we failed. And because Mr. President have seen that civil servants need to be paid salary, irrespective of the crisis between the legislature and the executive, and you are saying that that 2 months, with this period that is bringing peace, has now become a period of underdevelopment for Rivers State. I beg to disagree with that. And we should not, when we stand here, we should not feel like Pope Francis, who just passed on as if we don't know the truth. Every person that has an opportunity to contribute to River State should do so without fear or favor. And every atom of bringing ethnicity into leadership should be discarded. I thank the Ikore bloc for not joining forces with their son immediately to say that they are also standing for their own son, they must fight. If that was done, we don't know where we would have been today. Once again, I want to thank Mr. President for this peace initiative, and we'll continue to support it. Thank you, and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, solutions is what we're now looking for. I'd like to call on Professor of Politics and Governance, River State. Please let's put our hands together for Mr. Kenneth Nweke.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very delighted to be here today to contribute to the development of this state. Generations will see me as a failure teaching political science over 20 years. And a state like ours that has enormity of resources still struggles for survival. As an academic, when you talk about understanding the problem, and we fail to look at the trajectory of the problem that we have, stating the problem, then obviously you are committing a research, suicidal research, suicide, when you refuse to identify problems, state problems, obviously, and then with a view to gathering data to find a lasting solution to the identified problems. But be that as it may, because a lot had been said that generated a lot of people saying one thing or the other. But I want to start by saying that the problem that we have in River State today is not different from what has played out as we began this session today. And that problem has continued unabated. But I leave a lot of us sitting down here with some questions, assuming without conceding that you are called home after this ceremony. And before you are called home, and then you are asked, these crises that we have had over time, who are they benefiting? Are they benefiting yourself sitting here, or your children, my children? And then whatever answers you give to those, that kind of question remains with you. But for me, as an academic, one, two, as a major stakeholder in this state, and as an advocate for good governance, we have already identified where the problems are coming. And of course, somebody has said, between the substructure and the superstructure. I like what the first speaker spoke. He's a lawyer and a political scientist, I understand. Tamuno. And he tried to dissect the problem from his own perspective. As an academic, I love that. My own brother and friend I call Master, Ikenga, also came here, talked about the relationship between substructure and superstructure. These are political scientists. Of course, I know that even when the politicians are in power, they relegate political scientists to the background. And where we are talking about solutions, nobody mentions about them. But I want to say, because the tone is coming down for peace, but I want to disagree, and I want to say it, and I want to be placed on record. When the suspended governor said that he wears the shoes and he knows where he's pinching him. I'm saying that the shoes he wears are the shoes of Rivers people. And because sovereignty belongs to you and I seated here, including those who are not here. And so he says again that he knows his problem. The problem is not his, but ours. I understand that, yes, he is the driver, and he understands where something has gone wrong because it's the issue of the father and the son. But because it has moved away from father and son, because he is the custodian of the politics of River State and governance, there is no longer father and son matter. It is our matter. And because it is our matter, we all can sit down here and tell the major gladiators the truth, that Rivers resources belong to you and I. As I speak here, I do not know the fate of my children, including those who are on this side or on the other side. Yeah, I may be sure as a professor that I earn something, or if I throw in the towel today and I say I want to bow from the academics, probably I take voluntary exit and take retirement. How about my children? How about your children? What is their faith? Today, we sit in a state where someone else was called in to administer the state. Let me tell you, I may not have supported the state of emergency, but why would I support it later on? Because if the state were allowed to run the way it was running between the governor and the state House of Assembly, would have all been running in this state. So, but that does not suggest that ordinarily that the state of emergency that was, declared in Rivers State was lawful. Two, it may not have been lawful, but what are the political gains or economic gains that this has brought to us? In the long run, or in the short run, in the long run, it may have brought what I called graveyard peace, but not with progress, unfortunately. Even those who are on this side or on the other side, I want to ask us questions as I wrap up today. Nobody can say that the FCT minister did not work so hard to sell the man, the governor, today. He did so much, and I give it to him. As much as he did, the son ought to also work in tandem with whatever agreement, but not considering the interest of the generality of Rivers people. So, as much as we want to encourage him, because the tune is coming down to say, make peace with your father. But that peace, if it jeopardizes my own peace and progress and the peace of my children, then it's a graveyard peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'd like to bring on stage now to speak to us. Please let's put our hands together for human rights activists and, of course, the Niger Delta activist as well. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please, first of all, let me request for the other microphone, please. Can we have the other mic? Thank you. All right. Please, let's put our hands together as I make welcome our next guest who will be speaking with us. Thank you, Briggs. Please, can we have you? Thank you so much. Please, let's put our hands together for her, please. She'll be joining us, please. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm very sorry I'm here late because I had some other place I had to, and also the involvement of had kept me very busy throughout the past one. So I really apologize because this is a very important outing. A town hall outing is an outing that belongs to all of us. It doesn't matter whether you're supporting FOBRA or you're supporting Nyesom Wike. Some of us here, including myself, in the past 8 years, has given my full and total support to the then governor, whom I always call my brother, today the FCT minister, and today we have another governor, which we all know and accept, that he decided to bring on board, and Rivers people decided to follow. Here as a politician, which I am not. I am not here as a lawyer or a political scientist, and I was very moved and agreed with everything our political scientist has said here. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't hear what others had said before me, so that even if I repeat what they have said, it's not because I'm agreeing with them or disagreeing with them. I'm speaking my absolute brutal truth, as E.K. Clark will say it, and my position when it comes to Rivers State. Rivers State belongs to everybody. The least people it belongs to are the people that have identified themselves as politicians. I say so because politicians are our servants and not their servants. If you're Jonathan or similar Efubara or Nyesom Wike, you are the servant of the people, or whether you are state assembly member, you belong to the people. You are serving the people that pick periwinkle, the women that mash palm kernel to make palm oil. Those are the people you're working for. Now, there is nobody here that can claim they don't know what's been happening in Rivers State from 1999 to today. The problems that have metaphor into what we are seeing today started in 1999. When politicians decide to take over a people and their rights, it's called state capture. It means a few people. It means a few people have sat down somewhere in the middle of the night, had a strategy, and decided month to month, year to year, election to election, how they and the people that support them, and as we're now seeing, even their children, because if you're not seeing it, I'm seeing it. From Abuja all the way down to local government, people are grooming their children to take over. I totally disagree with a situation where we're going to find ourselves where people are serving fathers and then they will end up serving sons and daughters. I totally disagree. I'm not a politician. You can't hand it over. It is not a family project. I don't know when you spoke. I didn't interject. Please, let's have respect. So you were not properly briefed of where we are. I said that. I said that. I said that. I said that. I want to say to the youths of Rivers State, moving forward, I see no reason when campaign comes, you're wearing a cheap 1,500 naira t-shirt that when you put it in water, the face runs off. And the children of the people whose faces you're wearing are wearing Louis Vuitton. You must know that there is something wrong with that. If you don't know, I will tell you that there is something wrong with that. We cannot have a society where some people are giving their children our collective money to buy Louis Vuitton, to drive the best vehicles, to go to the best schools, and yet other people's children at elections are made to die. The question is, for what? Where are those people's children? Are they the ones carrying the guns? No. So that's what I mean when I said that the problems we are facing today whether it's Rivers State, Edo State, Nigeria, Lagos State, anywhere, started in 1999. Now, coming back to Rivers State. If you are a politician and you're popular, let's cut off this thing about choosing. If tomorrow the present governor decides he's going to choose somebody that will take over from him, I will be in the forefront to say, no, you cannot. You cannot. It's enough. People cannot be choosing people to represent everybody. If you choose, then I too will choose. All of us will choose. Then instead of having one representative and in the state assembly, we can have from each family in each local government area to represent us. You can't. So these are the problems that Rivers people are facing. I'm not from Abia State, so I don't know Abia people's problem. I cannot speak as an Abia person. I can definitely speak as a Rivers person. If you say I'm not speaking for you, that's great. I'm from Abonima. I'm from Briggs Compound. My grandfather is Abel Briggs. I can speak for myself. My name is Ann Kyo Briggs. So even if I can't speak for you, I can speak for myself. You can speak for yourself. Now, coming back to the solution, because we all know the problem. Coming back to the solution, I was in the service of songs for late E.K. Clark when Governor Simila Efobra made the statement that he made. I'm not a politician, but I know and understand that that was a political statement. Nobody knows the heart of another man. Nobody. So whatever Simila Efobra has said is what came out of his mouth. He's a politician, whether we like it or not. There are lawyers who have become politicians. There are doctors who have become politicians that have governed this state. Today we have an accountant who is governing Rivers State. What he said is a political statement. I don't take it to heart. He said the things he said, and people are having parties, political parties, and rejoicing and insulting him. Well, that's fine. He's a full-grown man. If he wants to answer the people who are insulting him, he will answer them. If you insult me and I hear it and I want to insult you back, believe me, I will insult you back. I will not be afraid. So that's not the issue. The issue is the solution. Let us believe and accept that this River State, that only my opinion cannot carry in this River State. Our collective opinions must carry in this River State. Whether you're in APC, whether you cross today, whether you cross yesterday, whether you're going to cross tomorrow, that doesn't matter. What matters is what you deliver. And I don't care whether somebody is somebody's godfather or somebody's godson. We're not doing godson and godfather. You can't go into government house on the basis that you're the godson of somebody. Okay, why are you not going in there as my godson then? All of us must have a godson. All of us must have a godparent so that we can all now do whatever we like. We must work with law and order and not do winner takes all. What is winner takes all? Some people will be happy when something happens to Nyesom Wike. Some people will be happy when something happens to Simila Efobra. Who is sad when something happens to Rivers State? Who is sad when something happens to the woman who is speaking Ngolo and Isam in Abonima or in Buguma? Please, politicians, these problems, you created it. You politicians created these problems. Don't blame the citizens. We had nothing to do with it. So the way you created these problems, please resolve these problems as soon as possible so that Rivers State can have peace. Not peace that looks like APC peace or peace that looks like PDP peace. I don't even know whether there is a PDP as far as I'm concerned. the way we're going. States are moving from one political party to another. I don't think that we can have a situation. If we say let's do one party state, please let us have a referendum and do one party state. Then we know that we have one party state. Coming to the issue, I'm rounding up, coming to the issue, which is a very painful issue, of the administrator, Ibas. It is not the fault of Rivers people. It is definitely, in my own humble opinion, and disagree if you must, it's not the problem, it's not because of Semela Ifobra that this man was brought here. It's a shame. And everybody who is involved in a man, a stranger, who was brought from another state to come and oversee the money of Rivers people and spend it anyhow he likes without accounting to us and without declaring how much he had in his pocket when he came here to us, and without telling us how much he is receiving on a monthly basis. It's 2 months now. How much has he received? So now we are saying that as soon as possible, whether it is Fobra's side or Wike's side, as soon as possible, let the president know that we don't want Ibas in this river state. We want a river son in this river state. If you don't like Fobra, in 2027, vote him out. Don't cheat. Don't tell INEC to declare results that are not there. And let a true person that we have voted for, let that person govern us. But when you think, if you're sitting here or even anywhere else, and you think that between now and 2027, that Ibas is going to continue to govern this state, is not true. It can't happen. Thank you very much.
I'd like to call on President of the INC, Professor Benjamin Okaba, to please come on stage to speak to us for 3 minutes, please. 3 minutes.
Okay, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me first of all appreciate you for inviting me to this conversation. Let me disappoint those who expected me to speak as president of the John National Congress. I'm going to talk as a professor of sociology with specialization in Niger Delta question. I've listened to all the contributions, and it's not surprising that we're in a divided house, pro and for. Some for, some against. I've met you on television. My friend, we met on television. So I'm happy I'm meeting you today. And I'm sure after now you're going to entertain me. Frankly speaking, we cannot isolate the issues in Rivers State from the wider, very pathetic situation, political situation in this country. Rivers matter is a symptom of a failing political system. It is about state capture. It is, when you say state capture, it's not about capture of Rivers State. It's about the Niger Delta. I happen to be the chairman of all the ethnic president generals in the Niger Delta. I will discuss these issues from that perspective, that because our region is very rich, the policy of balkanization have been perpetrated over the time.
the policy of divide and rule, the policy of making us fight against ourselves. And just like the colonial period, when we do that infighting, where there's crisis orchestrated, using our own people to cause crisis, then the federal government will have an inroad and begin to exploit our resources while we clap hand for those persons. Some persons have made themselves agents of exploitation. They are easily used. And when they are used, because they have offered themselves to the greater good of the federal government at the expense of our own development, we begin to fight ourselves. That is why I tried as much as possible as President of Regional National Congress to state every time I'm given the opportunity that this is not an ethnic crisis. And whoever that wants to give it ethnic coloration is an enemy of the Niger Delta. I have 2 degrees from the University of Port Harcourt. I was chairman of ASU, University of Port Harcourt. I have friends, Oko Onoshuku, who served with me in my ESCO as a chairman of the ASU branch of Uniport. So I know a lot of history. I'm pained with what is happening in the state. So, ladies and gentlemen, beyond the leadership issue, there's a greater followership problem. We have blind followership. Blind followership. When I say government, I'm not referring to any governor. But deploying the Putin's philosophy, impoverish the people, starve the people, then throw grains and they will follow. And many of us are following. No ideology, like Ankyo said. People are flirting from one political party to the other. In fact, a former chairman of PDP in my local government area visited me today. And I said, "Are you all have gone to APC?" He said, "Yes." So he now told me, "Do you know that I don't even have or know the first section of the APC constitution?" It's a movement of cows. It's a Malu-like movement. Malu-like movement from one federal to the other. Which kind of leader? Moving from one. So, followership is irresponsible. At the age of 40, 45, even your own child, even in the Bible, when Abraham was going with his son to say, "Let us go and offer sacrifice," that small boy asked, "The firewood there? Okay, where the ram? You say we are going for sacrifice, to escort you for sacrifice." The small boy asked the father, "Where's firewood? Matches there, kerosene there. Where the ram now?" And the man looked around and said, "The Lord shall provide." At the age of 50, you are sitting here eulogizing some individuals. You are worshiping individuals like you have. And these individuals are not actually better than you. They are only opportunists. Only opportunists. They are only opportunists. Ladies and gentlemen, please, you've tried by putting this gathering together. Let us close that bracket. Let it not be a divide. I can tell you for sure that the peace process had gone far. I'm part of it. Whether you don't want peace, I will impose peace on you. Even if you don't want the peace, we are going to impose the peace on you. Because all parties have discovered that they exaggerated their powers. All the parties involved have now discovered that they over-exaggerated. Who owns River State? is clear on the street. Who has upper hand is now clear on the street. Most lies that were told are now clear to the federal government. So they are in a hurry to right the wrongs. And you and I, seated here, supporting one side or the other, you don't have any role. One man has said, follow your leader. The leaders, they have started meeting. Are you hearing me? You can be quarreling. They have started meeting, and they are going to settle on your head. They're going to use on our head settle. You will follow. So please, let this conversation not end here. I will have some discussion with the organizers. Let us keep engaging ourselves. Let us also know that it is not about Rivers State. You saw how attempts were made to cross the boundaries of Bayelsa. And the young man, Josh Turner, came to me to apologize. And I said, don't worry. You can go and apologize to other leaders. We are all one. Don't allow enemies to enter us. We Ijaw people. We Ijaw people. We don't allow Ijaw people. We Ijaw people. Hello? 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 I'm the president of Ijaw National Congress. I was elected. Hello? I was elected by Rivers Ijaw people, Akwa Ibom Ijaw people, Edo State Ijaw people, and I speak for them. I speak for them. But in this particular instance, it is peace we are looking for. We are together. We are all together. Please, if we allow this situation, though it will not happen again, we have so many efforts have been made. That is why you can see that I don't speak on television. Because there's a time to shout, there's a time to cry, and a time to keep quiet. So we are keeping quiet because the process is ongoing. So I want to thank all of you for coming together. And please, moving forward, let us be responsible followers. Let us be responsible followers that should be able to ask questions. Why are you leading us to this place? It is also possible that the leader will tell you. One thing I loved about Pak Clark, in spite of his audacity, he will call you and say, I want to do this. My son, what do you think? Yes, what do you think? And that means it needs your own opinion. Sometimes, because of that, we go to him and say, Daddy, this thing that you want to do is not good for us. And we say, explain. And when you explain, it tells you. Not autocratic. So we should pray that we should have leaders who should be able to work closely with the followers. And followers that are not blind. Followers that are not drunk. Followers that are not sycophants. Followers that are reasonable. Let us, everybody here has the capacity of living his life. Everybody has I will finish 1 minute. Everybody has the capacity of living his own life. If only you look up to God. Don't make anybody your father. The only father you have is God and your biological father. This phenomenon is killing Nigerian democracy. And we should not be part of that destruction. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, please, we'd like to shorten our comments to just 3 minutes, please. If you can do even less, we'd appreciate. We'd like to welcome the Director, Ogoni Liberation Initiative, Dr. Fabeke Douglas, to please grace the stage and speak with us. Would like this to, please, let's put our hands together, please. The President, CEO, Ogoni Liberation Initiative, please.
Thank you very much. Respected ladies and gentlemen, our leaders, President, John National Congress, and my father, Elder Sarah Igwe. I don't have much thing to say here, because just like our president said, and which I'm very much aware, I was part of the United Nations delegate last week that traveled to Abuja to carry out some findings of how we can resolve the peace of Rivers State. And I discovered that the federal government has already made it up in mind to end this crisis. And I believe that in a few months from now, our governor will be returned back to take over power and govern the people of Rivers State. But I want to say here, the FCT minister is our leader and is making us proud in Abuja. We appreciate him. Sir Similarly Fubara is our brother, is our son, and the both of them, we cannot separate them to anywhere. They are all the sons of Rivers people. And I want to say it here too. Spiritually, I will try to tell you that the reason why there was crisis before, we did not pray before we start this meeting. We did not pray. My chairman, your echo. We did not pray. Let me cite one biblical example of resolving conflict. You knew what happened between Laban and Jacob. Laban served Jacob, and at a time Jacob felt that he wanted to be on his own. sorry. Jacob served Laban, and at the time he felt he wanted to be alone, because he was carrying the covenant of God, and to some level that was a mistake. He wanted to marry the first daughter, the second daughter, and the father said, no, you can't do that. He now ended up marrying two ladies from only one man. And on the way going, it happened that Laban felt that this guy have carried my daughters and everything. Let me pursue him. And as he was pursuing him, God warned him and said, please, that man you are pursuing, make sure you don't do anything evil to him. And it get to a level where two of them, check the scripture where, two of them reconcile their differences. As I'm standing here, nobody here know the differences between the FCT minister and the governor. It's only two of them. And I want to tell you here, Rivers people, I was invited by the FCT minister into his house, and I sat down between the governor and the FCT minister, and I saw the relationship between son and father, and I want that relationship to be restored back between two of them, so that Rivers people will be delivered from the strangers. Driving from my heart this morning, there is no road again in Rivers State. Waste management have taken over everywhere. Very soon now we are going to experience cholera in the state. And at the end, when Laban and Jacob reconciled their differences, it remained God and Esau. And Jacob said, I want to be alone now. There are times to be alone in time of crisis, for you to assess yourself. What is the cause of this crisis? I need to avoid this mistake. I need to avoid this mistake so that we can move on. Similarly, Fubara is carrying the people of Rivers State, just like Jacob was carrying the covenant of the Israelites. And Jacob now be alone. Now God appeared to him. What is your name? You can't continue with this name. He said, my name is Jacob. He said, no, your name is Israel. But he was still afraid to meet Esau. But because he had reconciled with God to remove what was causing problem, God now gave him a breakthrough to reconcile with Esau. And that was how the problem was reconciled. So what we are saying today are Rivers people. We are ready to support the both parties for peace to reign in Rivers State. I want the governor and I want the House of Assembly members and the FCT minister as the first family to sit down within themselves, reconcile their own differences, and come back to Rivers State to us and tell us that we have reconciled our differences and take over the government and let the governor take over the power and rule Rivers State for us to benefit
the democracy that we voted for. I think that's all I have to say here is reconciliation. The process is going on. Whatever we are going to say should not jeopardize the process of peace that is already going on, which I'm very fully aware. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you so much. We are wrapping up very soon, and to do this, we would like to hear from the traditional rulers. Let's hear from them as well. And to start off, we'd like to listen to the chairman, South Chiefs and Elders Forum. Please, let's put our hands together for Chief Omubo Hari, who will be speaking with us here now. Please, I'm sure we can do better. Please, let's put our hands together, please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I have only 3 minutes. I'm using half a minute. Let's stand up and pray half a minute for Rivers State. May I call on Hilda Dogbo to lead us in prayer. Pray for the state. Thank you. Pray for peace.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Father, as your children, we are gathered together, irrespective of where we have come from, irrespective of who we represent. We come as your children, and we ask that you bless us with your peace, that you heal the land for our sake and for the sake of our children unborn, that you give peace and soundness of mind to everyone that is represented here. Above all, Lord, we lift our two brothers, father and son, His Excellency Simnalai Fubara and the Minister Nyesom Wike before you. And we say, Lord, wherever the two of them are hurting, touch and heal them, and that we may all enjoy the peace that only you can give. Amen. In Jesus' mighty name we have prayed.
Amen. Thank you very much. First and foremost, let me thank the organizers of this wonderful house meeting. What do we need? We have said about peace, and we're all advocating for peace. And when there is crisis, we said peace. We must first and foremost recognize what brought the crisis before we talk about peace. And when we have the peace, it's going to be absolute peace. Let us try to appreciate our state instead of bringing a foreigner to cut away our resources. And what is it? The only problem we are having is godfatherism. Let us abolish godfatherism in our politics. It is only when we abandon godfatherism, then we will have peace. Then we will have full independence. I am not here to speak. I'm not a politician. As a traditional ruler, my advice, and those who are here with me, chiefs who are here with me, we say, peace to come. We must abolish godfatherism. When we abolish godfatherism, we will have free election. Somebody mentioned that throughout the 23 local government campaign they went for, Nalai Forward didn't say anything. Somebody have to speak for him. And because of that, he should be monopolized, the whole system. It is wrong. Cut and bound godfatherism. When you do that, Rivers State is going to be a very wonderful state, which all of us are going to enjoy. We're also going to enjoy good electoral positions, as we all know that godfatherism is evil. Mental slavery
The INC president have just said, we are followers. We should follow with clear minds, not as mental slavers. Having said so, I've used 1 minute for prayers, so the rest is all of us to abolish godfatherism in politics. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you so much. And lastly, we'd like to listen to His Royal Highness Eze Chinwuba Sonny Williams. He's the Eze Ezioku Bundu II, Port Harcourt, River State. Please just put our hands together for him, please. He'll be speaking to us for 3 minutes.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. There is, we have said, a lot of people have said many things, but you must know the area we are now is an area of healing. That's what we'll be talking about. We're not going back to the crisis. The crisis is already there. The question is, what is the solution? And I still thank all the stakeholders, because within my little ways, I'm seeing their movement. Both the ones sacrifice their time to go to Abuja, the ones on the street, the ones on different LGS, try to put the states together. Your sacrifices are not in vain. By special grace of God, the heart of man is in the God's hand to do as he pleases him. The God that created River State must return peace in River State. But you must know something, whether in the other side or the other side, whether you are PDP, APC, or whatever party, you must know you are the one losing. If the crisis continues, you are the one losing. One of my friends, a military man, said that government has like a graveyard. This troop is similar to coming in, going out, are no longer there. So that means even the both sides are losing. So what I can only say is, let's give peace a chance. And the time is now. So at that point, may God bless us, guide us as we heal, support the healing in the name of Jesus.
Thank you. Please let's put our hands together, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. We'd like to wrap up this town hall, like one of the speakers said, not just here, but of course, we'd like to continue the conversation. But to speak to us, finally, please, ladies and gentlemen, the man who has equally made this possible by pushing the narrative to ensure that we go from state to state and amplify the voices of the people. I'd like to welcome on stage the Managing Director and Editor-in-Chief of News Central Television. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please, let's put our hands together for Mr. Kayode Akintemi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an extremely expensive venture to bring a team of 12 people all the way from Lagos and have a team of 3 who are working here in River State to make this happen, to get the hall and get everybody together and make all the arrangements that we have made. It's costing us a lot, but we're not complaining about what it cost us, because the passion of myself as the Managing Director, Editor-in-Chief of News Central Television is that Nigeria has got to get better. I hear every day, politicians, all their children don't school here. Okay, I schooled here, and I am proud of the education I received here. I spent 20 years of my life in the United Kingdom, and everywhere I went from there, anywhere I traveled around the world, when I speak, they ask me, where are you from? We're not sure you're Nigerian. And I claim clearly, truly 100% Nigerian, educated in Nigeria, Federal Government College, Ogun State Polytechnic, and other institutions of learning. And I can stand my own anywhere in the world, including Harvard, where I spent some time on leadership training. Yeah. So what I'm saying in essence is, I think in this room, there are a few elders that I know are obviously older than me. And this year I am 60 years old. So I know the quality of education that some of us have heard in this country. I know the possibilities for this nation. And because of that passion, I am saying consistently, we will travel every nook and cranny of this nation. We will make this platform available for every single Nigerian. This is not about our politicians. I can say categorically without fear of anybody in Nigeria today, when you say that the average age of people before they die in Nigeria is about 45 to 49 because of the issues of health and hospitals, it means that a sizable number of people who are in their 40s have died today. So like one of my friends will say, you talk, you die. You no talk, you die. Cuckoo talk. If they won't kill you, it's okay, you die. So I have no fear of anyone. But what we are doing here today is primarily to appeal to all parties concerned, not because I'm a Riverian, but because I'm a Nigerian. The embarrassment of Rivers State is the embarrassment of Nigeria. If our politicians disgrace us locally or internationally, we are all disgraced. If they make us proud, we are all proud, irrespective of whether you're from Zamfara State, or from Kaduna, or from Kano, or Katsina. It doesn't matter. Nobody asks which state is Davido from. Nobody is asking where is Burna Boy from. When he goes to the Academy Award, they say Nigerian. They don't say he's from the South, or he's from the Southwest, or his mother is this or anything. We are all Nigerians. But before I give my final passing word, I would like to have Honorable Bright. Is he still around, Bright Amewule? Is he around? I told him to please come. Can somebody please look for him? Biola, please. Oh, please come. Every Nigerian, I will say, is my friend, my brother, or my sister. And I want to have your final word in front of all these people. And I know the Nigerians from all around the world. I've had people send me messages from US, from Canada, Nigerians. One of them says, oh, I'm an Ijoma and Kade, I am watching you guys, I'm interested in this. And I'm saying this is not about the Ijo. It's about Nigeria. And the question everyone is asking, let me ask you first, do you desire peace? And does the parties or the individuals that you support and stand your ground on and say, this is what we believe, do you desire peace?
Well, as a human being and as a person, I love peace. I desire peace for myself and for Rivers people. But for us to achieve this peace is that, in spite of what one of the speakers said here, that she's not involved or concerned about the statements made by the governor as to make peace that is political. Yes, it may be political, but that is what has led, basically, that is what has led us to where we are. Because even the man that, like the statements they make here, even the man you're going about dancing for, the man you're going about having parties for, is going about solo to see how he can make peace, like they have identified here.
But you, as an individual, do you desire peace?
Well, I have said clearly that I deserve peace, but that the people should also embrace peace.
Okay, so you would want peace.
Yes.
And if you want peace, yes, do you have the clout to reach out to all the individuals within the groups that you belong to say, whatever it costs, as long as we're not talking of killing everybody and having the graveyard peace. If we don't want the graveyard peace, we want peace that will endure. Would you be willing to work on that?
I have the clout because I know that like I said earlier here, I know SIM very well. I used to have access to SIM, and that was why I handled his initial campaign setting before we go to PDP campaign proper. I also have the clout because the Honorable Minister is my boss, is my mentor, and former governor of Rivers State. So I have the clout to reach out to the both parties. But SIM has refused to listen to us again.
Okay. But you desire peace and you want peace.
I desire peace, I want peace.
Will you be saying, because I have a strong feeling that Barrister Nyesom Wike, who's Honorable Minister of the FCT, former governor of the state, will probably be watching this now, and if he is not, some of his friends and associates and his staff will be watching. I know that one of them particularly has sent a message to me today to say, this is getting heated up. And I said, just calm down, let's hear. So will you be saying to Barrister Nyesom Wike that Rivers people desire peace? Please, let's find peace. Would you be saying that to him?
Please, the Honorable Minister, Rivers people deserve peace, and I join them to request that you embrace peace with the governor.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, my dear sister, Hilda Dokubo. So, I know that Hilda Dokubo has been brutally honest in her conversation on television, on radio, newspapers that have interviewed her, and she's made it clear that one, she's speaking for herself, and two, she's speaking for a sizable number of women in Rivers State. The men can say you're not speaking for us, so it's okay. But for you and the people that you speak for, do you desire peace for Rivers?
I deserve and therefore desire peace.
And will you be saying to all of them that they have to seek peace any which way possible apart from graveyard peace?
Any which way is very large, and I don't know what that means. If it's made clearer, perhaps I'll be able to give an answer.
Okay. Peace, that means that the things you're asking for, you get it. And peace, that means that there is some kind of compromise, because life is about compromise.
I think everyone in this room actually compromised something to be in this room. We're all very busy people. Being here means that we all are hungry to have the state enjoy peace, because that's the only way we can develop. So if we actually arrive at that point, yes, I'll be willing to go all out, canvass, campaign, whatever, plead with people and ask that we have peace in Rivers State.
Okay, thank you very much. I have a few words from my big sister. I know you're angling and you're eager and hungry to share a word or two. We have just about 1 minute left.
1 minute is enough. Mr. Bright Amehule, You specifically referenced what I said, and it's one of the problems that we have in Rivers State, misunderstanding, misrepresenting what the other person has said. May I repeat what I said? First and foremost, if you don't desire peace, you will not be seated here. 2, that's in my opinion. 2, what I said, and I will repeat it, I'm afraid of no one, and no one is afraid of me. What I said is that what the governor of Rivers State said on Sunday at Ziliagri's church is a political statement. I said it's my opinion because I was there. 2, I said that there are people who are rejoicing because of what they may have perceived, they perceived what the governor, the meaning of what the governor said. That's part of the problem that we also have in Rivers State. It is, I didn't say I don't care. If I don't care, I will not be here. I've been in touch with you since morning, even since last week, telling you about my movements and how I'm going to be late to this event. So if I'm not interested in peace, I won't even be in Nigeria. I won't even be in Rivers State. I don't have to be in Rivers State, but I choose to be in Rivers State. So please, let everybody, all of us, whether we're supporting FOBRA or whether we're supporting Wike, some of us are supporting somebody. I supported Wike in 8 years. You people here that know that, you know it. And I support FOBRA now. But that's not what we're here for. What we're here for is let there be peace in Rivers State. And it is you and I, as I said, that is going to bring the peace. I do not believe it is only FOBRA and Wike that are going to bring this peace. I don't believe it.
Thank you. So it means everybody is interested. The final person I'll call is Engineer Olu Anda Waogosu, President of MOSOP. Where is the President of MOSOP? I've got just 60 seconds, if you can come. Just 60 seconds because we're completely out of time. Please give him a round of applause as he makes his way. So we have to close now. And we're going to do some interview, and we have some gifts for everybody. Dr. Jacob Pele, you cannot go. You have to give me that 1 minute. You're one of the people that said this must happen, so you can't go. Yes, sir, your final words are just 1 minute of contribution from yourself. Movement of Ogoni. Please.
Movement of the survival of Ogoni people. MOSOP.
Okay, so what will be your contribution in terms of seeking peace for Rivers people?
Well, everybody knows the history of MOSOP. And MOSOP today stands for peace in Rivers State. In fact, we have started it because of our peculiar situation and peculiar circumstances we find ourselves. Already we are conversing, because the key word today is dialogue, conversation, and engagement. We're already engaging with the federal government, presidency, to see how peace can come back. So for Ogoni people and for MOSOP, we stand for peace in Rivers State. Because if peace comes back to Rivers State, Ogoni will be rejuvenated.
All right, thank you so much. So ladies and gentlemen, what we are going to do, ladies and gentlemen, can I have everybody's attention? What we're going to do, we're still live on air. We're still live on air, please. So what we're going to do is we're going to have some interviews with some of you live on air after this. So please don't go away. We are praying for peace in Rivers. My final word is, number one, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, irrespective of what happens between the Minister of the FCT and the Governor of Rivers State, the President has the overarching authority to make a decision on where this state goes. So an appeal is going to him directly from all of us that the President should do the right thing for the people of Rivers State, not for individuals. And finally, for the people, for the sake of the people of Rivers State, the Honorable Minister of the FCT and Governor Fubara should do whatever it takes for the two of them to align, and also remember that the State Assembly members are involved in this conversation, and all of them should align and resolve the issues. But like one of my dear sisters said here, it is clear that the people have got to speak and not be quiet. One, and then two, they have to speak in 2027 to make sure that we don't have this situation again. And on that note, I will say, my dear brother and friend, my colleague, I'll hand over to you to wrap up everything. I say thank you to the people of Rivers for hosting News Central. News Central is your platform. So you can watch us on channel 422, on DSTV, on GoTV channel 23. We're on Star Times and other platforms. Be happy to join us every day. We have a political show where we discuss everything and anything. Feel free to join us there and share the information that this platform is not anybody else's platform but yours, the people of Rivers and the people of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for coming. This is where we wrap up the town hall meeting in Rivers State. Don't forget, you can catch a repeat of this town hall meeting later on in the day. Just make sure you watch News Central Television. We would drop a review as well, and you can also comment later on. But once again, I want to say thank you to all, and keep watching News Central. See you guys later.